Hey everybody, welcome to my basement. Um, so what we got going on is I posted the rest of the material that you're gonna need for your Create PT. So earlier this week we reviewed the task and we did so we have a little intro video if you didn't watch that already, and then we started working on the survival guide. Okay. So at this point, I would finish working on the survival guide today and get an idea for what you want to do for your project. It's pretty self-explanatory if you watch the other video that I recorded. And then what we're trying to do is get you guys started on this now. So what if you look at that survival guide, there is, let me see where I put it. The survival guide gives you, so we filled out most of this as a class the other day. So you go through here, it tells you, what to look for, it gives you a grading rubric and all that kind of thing. So remember, everybody's going to be turning this in, whether you're doing the AP credits or not. So if, this is a graded assignment for me as well. So anyway, we planned this out, and then as we went through here, you're not going to be able to fill out all of this information currently, so you'll have to come back to these as you're working. And there's a timeline here. So each day that you're working, I'm going to put like a little screenshot of these, and I'll probably give you a little bit, a really short video of kind of explaining what you should be working on, where you should be at as far as this project. So like today and tomorrow, I'd be just thinking about starting your programming part. And by the time, like by the end of the day on Friday, if you've worked on this for like 2 hours probably, so I'd do like at least an hour and a half today, maybe an hour and a half tomorrow, and then you should be able to say like, yes, my idea is working, or no, it's not. The due date for this, what we're tentatively looking at, is December 2nd. So if we look at the calendar, um, we are on the 12th here, and you have 12 hours to work on this. So it's really like 9 days. But then I'm also going to give you over Thanksgiving break to complete this as well. Okay, so December 2nd is where we're looking at trying to get this submitted. And when we come back in, if we have like submission problems and things like that, I can give you an extra day or so to submit it. But in class, we're going to be moving on to new material starting the 2nd. Okay. So hopefully we'll be back in school by then, and we can get that kind of stuff ironed out. But you'll be given, like, there's not going to be any new lessons up until December 2nd, so you're going to have plenty of time to work on these different things. Okay. So really today, if we look at, um, you want to definitely finish the survival guide as much as you can. And then if we look in today's folder, this Thursday folder, like I said, there's a screenshot of what you should be working on. I'll put one of those in each days of the folder that you should be on. And then these are going to be where you submit your final pieces for the project. And I wouldn't get too overwhelmed with these right now. So like I said, you're not going to be able to finish this until you completed the rest of the project, the survival guide. Things like the video of the code running, I'll make another video of how to screen capture and stuff. It's not that hard. You should be able to figure it out on your own. And I put code.org's instructions in there as well. I gave you guys a written response template, and then the how to do the code print as well, where you just upload a PDF. So each one of those, you don't have to really worry about them right now, but these are going to be our 4 main components that we're turning in. So I believe if we look at these, it is worth quite a few points because you're getting so much time to work on it. So your survival guide is going to be worth 20 points, I believe. I think the video of your code is worth 10. Written responses, I gave you a lot more points. I think that is 40 points. We'll double check. Yeah, 40 points for the written responses, and then the code print is going to be worth 10 as well. Okay, so some of these things you're just going to get some points for doing them correctly, really. And then the written responses is what I'm going to be going through with a little bit more detail to see if your programs work. Okay, so really you should be able to work through that survival guide and look at the previous videos for a more detailed description of this project. You have plenty, so even on code.org, like if we go back to here from the previous lessons, if I was a student, I would be looking at the samples here and the annotated samples for the one that got the perfect score. That's where I would be looking for while completing most of this project. The lesson 2 was just the survival guide that we worked on, and then this lesson 3 is going to be where you're going to actually complete the task. So the scoring guidelines are here from the College Board. You can look at the rubric. They're also included in your survival guide. You have the big task instructions. So one thing I do want to point out is if you are submitting this for the College Board, just make sure that you are aware down here towards the bottom, I think it's on page 12 of the document, it gives you more detailed directions on things that you should be doing. Okay, so most of this stuff is built into that survival guide, so you've seen this before. And we'll talk about submitting it to the College Board website later. That's not due until like April, but we'll get you guys sorted on that before you leave class. So it tells you things that you can do, that you should do, and then down here you must do this. So these are the things that you have to submit, especially if you're doing it for the College Board, and then the may not part is going to be important as well. Okay, so especially if you're submitting it to the College Board, I'm limited in how I can assist you for some of this stuff, so I can't really like debug or troubleshoot your code, but I can give like kind of suggestions, but you can bounce ideas off of each other. So I'd make sure that you can, you should be able to email the other students in the class pretty easily by searching for them in their contact list. Okay, so I would just read through this a little bit more carefully. So that is underneath this create part here, lesson 3, and it gives the guidelines and instructions. This tech setup page is going to be more important to us later. I basically copy and pasted this stuff into the assignment, but it goes through how to submit the different parts. And then finally, this bubble 3 is going to be where you want to actually write your program for your app. Okay, so they give you a blank space in this lesson 3 in unit 8 that you can actually program. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. I'll be updating with videos. Don't forget that I did put, if you didn't see the most recent update, I'll put this link into the course code as well. But I did create a link to a Excel spreadsheet where you can request a Zoom meeting. So if you feel like you need to talk to me and it might be easier to work that way, just let me know. I just ask that you do that a day ahead of time, so then I don't have to just sit in front of a computer all day if nobody's gonna be on. Okay. So let me know if you want to meet in person. You can obviously send me messages as we've done in the past as well. So make sure that you are asking if you're unsure. That's what I'm here for, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.